soybean growers, President George Goblish. This will be for our first district candidates.
My son said I wasn't quite excited when I was speaking to you guys, so I'm going to try and put a little excitement in my voice now. All right. In most cases, water hemp is a big deal to us on a farming level. The biggest pain we have on the political level is the EPA. So with that, farmers are concerned with EPA's reach, particularly when it comes to the waters of the U.S. What are your thoughts on that issue?
First District Congressman Tim Walz.
They should be concerned. I said that's the role that they should have. I was out in Edgerton after our torrential rains here several weeks back, and there was a producer there had a mason jar of crystal clear water sitting on the table. He said, "This is what's running off my field." He said, "I'm proud of the things I put in place. I'm happy to comply with best practices within RCS, but I do not want to see EPA or the Corps of Engineers on my land." The point being on this is these false choices of either or. Our producers care deeply about clean water. They care deeply about that great industry in the outdoors, hunting and fishing, and they care deeply about their neighbors having clean drinking water. So the issue here is what they're asking for is we will comply and clean the waters. What they're asking for is not to have the overreach, not to take a fence post and then have to have it cleared through the Corps of Engineers, what you do with the fill. So we've asked, repeal that interpretive rule on this point. We are in the comment period for citizens. Write them and tell them, we will want clean water, we will give you clean water, but don't give us the excessive overreach that doesn't clean the water, and I'll continue to fight for that.
Now First District candidate Aaron Miller.
Farmers should be concerned about the EPA because I think the EPA stands for ending productive agriculture. Every practice and policy they come up with is just another expansion of an overreaching government into our lives down here in southern Minnesota. You know, farmers are the best stewards of the land. They drink their own well water. And I think that we need to have a Congress that is willing to pull back the legislative powers that's given to it by the Constitution and pull those powers back into the legislative body and not the unelected, unaccountable bureaucratic body that the EPA is.
And now First District candidate Jim Hagedorn.
I was here a year ago for Farmfest, and Congressman Walz was asked a question about tiling. And he went on and told the guy, he said, "Now don't let anybody say you're not a good environmentalist." I said, "Well, if you don't let him tile, you won't be able to call him a farmer either." You know, the problem is the government, the EPA, taking so much authority. Farmers have to ask permission to do everything. We need regulatory reform. We need to pull back the authority from Congress, as Aaron says. We need to say that if there's a regulation over $100 million that's going to cost society, that the Congress gets additional review. We need to do all sorts of things in order to take power from the federal government and return it to the states and the people. You cannot tweak Washington, D.C. You have to take its power and bring it back home.
Okay, our next question will come from the Minnesota Pork Producers Association President Lori Stevermer. This will be for Group C, our 6th District candidates.